What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our first episode of From Boys to Men. This is a channel focuses on men's mental health, talking about a lot of stuff us men go through on a day-to-day basis. And welcome my co-host, the one and only
Eddie Bunch.
Eddie Bunch is in the building, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, hey, y'all understand? We both been through a lot in our lives. I'm a little bit older. I know black don't crack, but I'm 29. I just don't want nobody else to go through the same thing I went through as a kid, as an adult, as a teenager, as somebody trying to find out who they are in life. And we don't talk about stuff as far as men's mental health and stuff that we face on a day-to-day basis because everything basically focuses on women. So we're going to bring in a lot of content that's going to help us open up not just to ourselves, but to others.
Don't worry, ladies. We're going to have some game to spit for y'all, too.
True.
Don't worry.
So if y'all men going through some problems, this is the place to find out the answer to the problems.
So,
Yes, sir. Man.
So, bro, when was the first time you realized you experienced some trauma?
All right. First time I realized I experienced trauma, that's a hard question, but I really think of my first heartbreak. But
Okay.
I realized life is trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized this like literally last week. Because when you think about it, everything you go through in life, from birth to the time you die, is a traumatic experience. So when you think about it like that, we experience trauma a lot, but we experience trauma that we're not used to on a rare occasion, which really affects us more dramatically than the trauma that we already faced. I think that's why really you look at it on the tombstone, it says rest in peace. Because
Life is a hell of a road, bro. Always hectic.
not even just that, it's just like you can't catch a break.
Nah.
Because if you want to do something in life, you literally gotta get up and face your trauma every day and push through it. And you gotta like get knocked the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
You get knocked down so much where it's like you got catalysts in your brain that you already know what's about to come, but you know you just gotta keep pushing through it. But what about you?
Shit. First time I experienced some trauma, man. Honestly, it was probably my first time getting my ass jumped.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Man, when I was in like third grade, man, I was living in the bricks, and I used to hang out with my cousins and all them, man. It's like bad part of Atlanta, man. But that was my first time actually being exposed to some real hard life shit, man. Like it wasn't easy for me before that, but just not eating that well, man. I would eat sunflower seeds for lunch, dinner sometimes. Like,
Damn.
yeah, it was an experience, but like you said, life is all about trauma. And it's a bunch of adversity, but it's always about how we face it. The issue is that like society don't never teach you how to deal with it. They just try and get you to always suppress it, and that's when it starts coming out and exploding. Sometimes we got these dudes who come out here and they start acting crazy, or they end up committing suicide because they just couldn't take that shit no more.
Exactly.
Yeah, something need to change, man.
Exactly. Because look, I used to be the cousin that would not fight. My cousins used to have to toughen me up because they try to say, "Oh, you're gonna have to fight one day."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna beat your ass until it gets to the point where you're gonna swing some punches.
Uh-huh.
But to be honest, like traumatic experiences, like bro, they shape you in a way. They say it for your good, but I say it changes you from who you really are to who they want you to become. Because how I look at it, like, because I went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I was in jail for 3 months. And that's the one time I realized I had to deal with my own bullshit. And like, I said I had to face me. And not just me who I became at this point, the younger version of me that had got shaped and transformed through all these other traumatic experiences. Like death was the biggest traumatic experience I faced. I lost a cousin when I was in second grade. He was 2 years older than me. He had a heart murmur.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had a feeling like death is at this thing that just can come and just ruin everything. Like, I think in the span of 2-3 years, my family had like at least 10 deaths back to back.
Damn.
Exactly. And as a young kid, expecting, like, when you learn, like, someone's 2 years older than you don't expect a kid to die at a young age. You're like, oh, yeah, old people going to get old and die.
Especially as a kid, man. Everybody invincible.
Exactly.
That's what it seemed like.
Exactly. But my cousin went to summer camp and didn't come back. He came back in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And that shaped me like, bro, death can take you at any time, at any moment, no matter your age or nothing. But, like, I ain't deal with my granddad's death because he died in my first year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't deal with that until, like, until I went to jail.
Now, when you went to jail, what was your first reaction? Like, because for me personally, man, like, you know, trauma affect you deep, but at some point you gotta try and take ownership of it, because then it could teach you that many lessons.
Exactly.
Like, going through life, I'd always make excuses. You know, like, I got this going on, this happened, so this is the way it was. And, like, don't get me wrong, it sucks that you gotta go through it, but at some point, you know, you gotta take ownership of it. So,
exactly.
what was your thought process when you first went in there?
First one to jail, I was like, what the fuck I'm doing here? Honestly, I think that's everybody's first reaction. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the whole reason why I went to jail was really off some bullshit.
What they got you on?
I was falsely accused of rape. Yeah. And, you know, they say you're free until you're proven guilty, but actually you're guilty until you're proven free.
Mm-hmm.
But it shook me because, all right, I got to tell you how I got to jail. There was a girl cop that I was fucking.
Mm-hmm.
That I called to figure out why the people was looking for me. She's like, I could figure out something, but it'd be hard. I'll let you know. I'm a person like this. If I'm in trouble, I'm going to go face my troubles. I don't like nobody else fighting my battles for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I just need to know what's going on. I just want to know what type of battle I'm fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, yeah, let's meet up at Steak and Shake. She's like, yeah, I'm coming in from, she's coming in from one side of town. But literally her car pulled in from a whole different side of town. Like, bro, I should have knew some shit was up. Because she told me, oh, yeah, she had to meet some people that take care of something at Target. She pulled in from the other side and came in from the opposite side of the fucking mall and went to the other side. I was like, she's like, oh, I'll meet you behind Dick's.
That's suspicious as
Exactly.
fuck.
Like, this some chick I was like fucking, like, really. I was sitting there for 5 minutes, like, debating, like, bro, just go home. Go home, you'll figure out what's going on tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I said, nah, you know what? She probably want to help me out so I figure out what's going on so I know what I need to do. Because there's somebody, like, I fucked with since high school.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I pulled up over there, got out of the car, because he also said we were going to fuck. Like, she's like, hey, you want to fuck in the police car and all this other shit? I was like, yeah, of course, I was weak. I was in my flesh. I was weak.
Yeah, you had to turn to Lil Wayne for a second there.
Exactly. So, look, I had no drawers on, I had no socks on, I had shorts and a T-shirt. Then 16 police cars pull up. I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was clueless.
16?
16.
Damn.
Look, and it felt like a scene off of a movie. Because I'm just staring her in her eyes as she come over there. And she put handcuffs on me as everybody else was reading me my rights. And I keep asking, like, bro, what the fuck I do? Because, like, I stopped selling weed. I stopped throwing parties. I was literally going on the right path, trying to get my shit together so I can get my son, like, figure out what I was trying to do in life. So I started, I was doing my acting career. I was like, okay, my acting shit's taking off, about to blow. I was about to be cast on MTV, Are You the One?
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, found myself in jail. And when they handed me the sheet of lists of charges they're trying to charge me with, my heart dropped.